the very beginning of Legacy of the Void when it came out, so that's definitely a possibility. And a map like Ruins of Ceres, which is going to be game one, that third base is a very juicy target for charge lots.
Ooh, it is. Trust me on that. I love that playstyle. But here on Ruins of Ceres, spawning up in the top left, we have got our blue Zerg rivals. TryThePriest.
And his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, from Storm Gaming, it is PiLiPiLi. The green Protoss. I met PiLiPiLi at BlizzCon, so it was pretty awesome. Did you see him? Yeah, no, yeah, you met him too. Yep. He was a lovely fellow. And then, he wanted to go to a party afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I'll come with you, and I led us in the wrong direction twice on accident. Literally 2 wrong directions, and he was like, okay, I give up, I'm going on my own. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yep. I like wasted an hour trying to find a... Cause there was 2 of the same hotels with the exact same name. In within a block of each other. So I was really confused. It was really frustrating. But, you know, what do we have going on in this game and not PiLiPiLi life? PiLiPiLi looks like he's going to go down to a natural. Quick natural only has 1 probe in gas, adding on 2 or 3 now, which is something I'm seeing more and more. Just enough to get Warp Kate, then Mama Core, and you can take your natural. Wow. TryThePriest in the top left is going for what looks like just a 3-hash before pool. Cross spawns, Ruins of Ceres, largest map. He's going to be in a fine position.
Yeah, I don't even know when Pili is going to be able to scout TryThePriest location. Probably in about a minute here or so. Looks like he's going to scout the wrong base first. And the same with TryThePriest. TryThePriest isn't going to get much of a read off on Pili at the moment. But no, there's not like any super aggression that he needs to scout right away. So far, it's pretty, it's pretty standard play style. The Cyber Core is starting to finish up. We've got another gas starting to go, but it's still, we could still see some 2-base play, 2-base charge lot immortal. It's still a possibility. It's just not anything super crazy at the very start. We do have an adept being chronoed out for some of that extra harass, forcing out links, maybe getting some drone kills. It's never a bad thing.
I would like to see PiLiPiLi do some earlier aggression, possibly in the second game, only because overall, TryThePriest has only been in these macro games where he went macro style 3-hatch before pool or hatch gas pool, and then his opponent did the same. So he's like, okay, cool, I'm in a fine position. I'd love to see that early aggression and how he might just react, but for now, TryThePriest not showing his hand, 4 links on the way, and looks like he will be able to scout his opponent, at least know that he's in the bottom right, at least in a few seconds.
And the Twilight Council has gone down. It makes me wonder what upgrade is going to come out of that. It is a potential to be charged, knowing Pili's playstyle. At the same time, Blink Disruptor is good, and at the same time, the Adapt upgrade is good. There are so many different pathways you can go in PvZ right now.
He was the one that started to do a lot of Immortal. It's charged a lot of the sense of maybe charge, but he can go with whatever he wants. He also really likes Blink.
And there we go.
There's also been the times with PiLiPiLi. I remember one time I just asked him, hey, what do you do in each matchup? And he says, 4 minutes, 20-second Blink. Or Twilight Council. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, 420 Blink. And I never was sure if he was making a pod reference or actually being really serious, but it worked. That's what he does in every matchup, or at least that is what he did in Heart of the Swarm. For now, he's getting up a nice wall, and really, with very little aggression and the macro sense of TryThePriest, it's almost giving PiLiPiLi too much freedom.
Yeah, right now there's not much scaring Pili at the moment. He's free to just build up. He's getting that Robo. He's got Blink on the way. We're probably... Well, if he's going for a macro-oriented style, it will probably be Blink Disruptor. Blink Disruptor, pretty solid for PvZ games.
Looks like it will be Roach Warren for TryThePriest. Well, PiLiPiLi just adding on a couple more gates to be able to compensate for the early lack of them. And for now, it's going to be Blink, which I really like. As you said, a little bit more of a macro-oriented. Actually, Lane's moving into the natural base, trying to do some damage, but will be pushed back, at least force out of an overcharge. As I was saying, though, and as you mentioned, a little bit more macro style, which I love to see. But we also have seen every once in a while, after the Twilight is finished, Blink just adding on Resonating Glaives and going for a draw.
Yep, the Warp Prism is coming out now. Lair is getting finished there for TryThePriest, and we've got a Dark Shrine being added on now for PiLiPiLi. I like it. I wonder if he's going to do some DT drops as as well as maybe some Adapt drops.
It is, of course, a Warp Prism, and with how good PiLiPiLi is in his micro, I wouldn't be surprised if we even saw Sentry mixed into the Warp Prism later, force fielding off a ramp and just destroying, surgically taking out one of the bases. For now, he's being very careful. Looks like he goes for a little bit of a blink forward. For now, holds back, and there the Sentry is moving out. Possibly the DTs are going to come up next. I guess he's just going to go for the really awesome draw.
Yeah, what Pili could do is force field off a ramp while DTs went nuts. But these Lings, they might actually catch that Warp Prism.
Oh, will they catch it?
Ooh,
Looks like they barely won't, but they did see the Stalkers. Not sure if TryThePriest actually was able to see that. Back at home, by the way, PiLiPiLi does have an Adept in that wall, so he should be able to hold for a while. But here's the move out. Stalkers in the top left, focusing down on Overlord. What does TryThePriest have? He does have Roach Warren. He's got +1 missile for Hydra's Roach speed on the way, but those are still roughly 30 seconds off.
So the blink force is getting very close to the base, and the Warp Prism will be able to provide that high ground vision. At the same time, the Dark Shrine has finished, so Pili could warp in DTs at the same time, making this even more of a deadly attack.
Stalkers focusing down the Roach Warren right before Roach Speed finishes, and there's the force field on the ramp, and the main with all the tech, the layer, everything possibly could be at jeopardy and go down. This is generally in some positions why Zergs take all their tech in the natural, but that's still a little bit of a risky move. Hydralisk Den, Evo Chamber, another Evo Chamber going down, and the force fields are not stopping. There is just barely enough TryThePriest time to maybe go 1-for-1 with PiLiPiLi if he could get up the ramp, and now the layer is gonna maybe go down. So many drones not being able to work. PiLiPiLi doesn't actually have a big economic lead because he only had 2 base, but he's gonna completely stifle the tech. There's nothing.
Yeah, these force fields have kept these Lings out so long. There's no longer the energy for any more force fields. The Lings do get in the base, but the damage has been phenomenal with this attack.
Lings will be able to get somewhat of surround, but the Stalkers put themselves into a phenomenal position. They got to be really careful in kind of these small clumps here and there, but the Lings don't looking like there's going to be enough to really do anything here. I think the Stalkers barely are going to win out, and you got to remember there's still the Warp Prism and the DTs. There are still DTs doing damage at that natural. Queen goes down, the main has been sacked, and now the DTs, they're going to take some souls away.
And the blink down to the third. TryThePriest calls GG.
GG.
And PiLiPiLi goes to take game 1 in this series.
Really nice, decisive move. Gets the Warp Prism, gets the Stalkers, moves out, and goes in. And some people would say, you know what? He spread himself a little bit too thin. DTs, Sentries, Blink, Stalker. However, that's what he was going for. His Sentry was a very concise all-in.
Yeah, and with those Sentries blocking off the ramp, it made it really hard for TryThePriest to even get in there and defend any of his tech structures. He lost the lair, he lost the Evo Chambers, the Hydra Den, drones, some Zerglings that were left over. It was huge, and the force fields just kept coming. So it was a very smart move there from Pili.
There was about 4 force fields to do that. Game 2 is going to be Dusk Towers. TryThePriest says, KK, it's going to be dusk time. Wonder what he's got planned. As I mentioned, you do have those lurkers that can shut down the middle choke point. However, there's a lot of Protoss stuff, a lot of drop capability.
Yeah, and there's actually another capability for 2 base all-ins. You can get across the map relatively easy. So